Hi friend, it's Pat Sloan here, and guess what it is? Guess. It is Snowman Day. Up. Okay, I'm not taking it. There, you saw his face. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the last group of sections for the Snowman quilt. So to remind you what that's all about, it's a quilt along with a book with a design by Lori Holt. Fat Quarter Shop was running the quilt along, and a bunch of you wanted to do it. And my friend Bobby was going to do it, and so I said it's very cute. But I don't have time, and I don't really want the quilt. You know, it's big and it might be a little hard to use as a charity quilt. So she said, well, you can have mine in parts, to share on the video. So that's what we did. So you're seeing all the parts that Bobby sewed, and I'm putting them together as a thank you for lending them all to me that she made. And she has the kit. So she had the kit, and that's the same fabrics that pretty much that Lori designed. Okay, so there is this list that is out there about all of the different parts, and I regrouped them so that it could be done quicker because I didn't want it to last into November. I didn't want it to last all year. Now we're at the end. Okay, so you can see here, look at this. So there's a big section, and my wall is not wide enough to hold it all. I don't have anything. I can put up that one design cloth that I have, which will be wide enough, but I don't have a stand tall enough to show you that. So you're just going to look at it like this. So there you can see it's out to the edge. So there's that center section. What I'm going to do is show you each of the pieces of the center section, and then I will go ahead and put them all up. And that way you can see it all up there. I am not sewing it together for this video. I will sew it over the next few days. I'll leave it on the wall and just take my time and sew the sections. There's also a border, not too wide of a border, that goes around it to kind of finish it off. You can see that. It's the same color as the background. Okay, so there's different parts that still have to go up there, like the other mitten, which is full size. Your kids can lay on that snowman and he will be bigger than them. I promise you he will be. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is, Bobby labeled things for me. She's amazing. So this is the other side of the body. You can see the body there over the little wheelbarrow, the little thing you pull. What is that? My brain froze. Okay, so this is the other side of the body. And then, what are these? Oh, these are the buttons. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? These are the buttons down the middle of the snowman. Oh, how cute are those? How cute. And what do we got here? So there's a lot of parts for this section. But what else are you doing, right? What else are you doing? This okay, so here is the scarf. Here's the scarf. Oh my goodness. There we go. Something like that. I believe it actually goes like this. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I got to put that up on the wall. And then the last part is all of those kind of star units at the top. Something like that. And the rest of the scarf, because heaven forbid we should have a short scarf. We have a scarf that's about, I don't know, 20 feet long. So, okay, give me 1 second and I'll get the ladder out and I'll go put them up. Before I put too much up, here it is. Here it is. I'm way back across the room to try to get it all in. So there's a little red wagon, that's the word I was looking for, a little red wagon. And then there I put the buttons. That one scarf piece goes this way. I was trying to get my head around that. Had forgotten. It goes down, and then one goes that way with the mitten arm, and then the stuff up there, the stars. So let me keep going. All right, I have this part. Now you can see the scarf going down, but I can shove it all over, which means I can pull that over a little bit. So let me do it. There we go. I moved everything over just a little bit, so that is so cool. I'm able to get almost all of it, except for where the corner of this table is. So that the red wagon does, the handle doesn't meet up. Okay, so there we go. So darling. I can't wait to sew it up. How stinking cute is that? Holy cow. And I think I've mentioned this a few times that Bobby has grandchildren. Some of them are fairly small, so they are going to have a super time at Grandma's house with a life-size snowman. And then this is the backing fabric that was suggested, and it's a wide back. Isn't that beautiful? I love the scale of it. It's got a little bit bigger scale. It's similar to the other prints, but they upsize the scale of it for the backing, which I think is awesome. I really, really like it. All right, we got some other fun things for today. I have a quilt hanging in the Virginia Quilt Museum. I was invited to submit a quilt to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Virginia Quilt Museum, which is in August. They will have an anniversary party, and they also have a bunch of other stuff, and I'll link you to the museum about that. But several of us were asked to take the logo of the Quilt Museum and interpret it into maybe something fresh and new. And so what I did was ask, and then we had a specific size. And so I asked my friend Suzanne, who is a marvelous long arm quilter, just extraordinary. She's such a great artist, if she would work with me to do the quilting on it. And I filmed this many months ago. You'll see I have long sleeves on because I had to get it to the museum so they would have it in time to catalog it and everything. And it will be part of their collection. They may take it to events. They may end up auctioning or raffling those pieces eventually, but it is theirs to use. So let's take a look at it on what I filmed when I made it. I want to show you the quilt that I did for the Virginia Quilt Museum's 30th anniversary. They asked a group of us, would we design a quilt that incorporated the museum's logo, because it's their 30th anniversary, and they wanted to have the logo. They wanted to keep it predominantly a lot of blue and have free reign other than that. And so I designed a quilt, and I'm not going to tell you the story because I want you to go to the website and read about it there at the Virginia Quilt Museum. But I'm going to show it to you because I'm filming this before I sent it to the museum, so it is at the museum already when you're watching this. And what I did is I asked my friend Suzanne if she would collaborate with me and add her quilting artistry to my top, because I wanted to have some quilting on it that really was, her artwork, because I love the way that she quilts, and I thought it would just be fun to have that as a feature rather than just kind of holding the quilt together with quilting, to actually have that as part of the story. So it is called One Must Have a Quilt, and you'll have to go and read it, like I said, to find out, where that comes from, and it's based off of something that I've read. So that was inspiring to me. So let me just show you. I'm so excited about it. And they're all 30 inches. All the quilts are 30 inches, and they will be used eventually as a fundraiser. And so you will be able to own my quilt with Suzanne's wonderful, amazing quilting on it. And I put 30 pearls. I'm just going to lay it here so we can take a little closer look. I put 30 pearls on it because that is the traditional 30th anniversary gift, is pearls. And so here we go. Ta-da! So there's 15 pearls here and then 15 pearls there. And Suzanne created a garden on the quilt background for me. And a sky above. Whoops, let's go the other way so you can see it bigger. A sky above, and I used my Tiny Secrets fabric and then a navy here for the back of the butterfly. And then these were some scraps all up here for the bees. And this is the honeybee block, which is the logo of the Virginia Quilt Museum. So Suzanne added clouds and a big old bee up here. There's vines, and so there we go. There we go. I'm so excited about this challenge. everybody who enters one of these things, we put a lot of thought and effort into creating something unique to celebrate big anniversaries with these challenges. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you go out there, and when they do come up for auction or raffle, however they decide to do it, I hope that you will take part, because maybe you can have mine and Suzanne's. So thank you for taking a look and visiting and supporting the Virginia Quilt Museum as they celebrate their 30th anniversary. It is also Maritime Day. Who knew? Who knew? The days, there's all kinds of days. So I thought it would be fun to show you. I've done a lot of sort of nautical things, including the crush quilt that's up here, which is in red nautical fabrics. A lot of those fabrics in there are red. And then I did a blue version of that for my my book, Holiday Hoopla, I think is what it's in. I'm not, no, I don't think it's in that one. It's in a different one. But I did a blue version for that book, which were all sort of, I think, still nautical, all nautical. But I got out a smaller piece, because this is one that I hang on my door sometimes, and I have it in the Celebrate the Seasons book. As you know, most of my books are out of print, but so I will link you to anybody who might be selling this one right now. But I did a few smaller pieces for that book, just because you got little spaces, and plus you don't always have a lot of time. Sometimes you just want to have the satisfaction of getting something sewn, and this is a perfect size for that. It's perfect. It's perfect. And that's a marvelous segue that some of my quilts, my charity quilts, I've talked to you about how they go to auctions, or they might go to an actual person, or they might be used by facilities to decorate with. And some of mine have gone to let me get the name right, the Calvert Marine Museum. And I've told you about that place a few times. So let me pop up a picture. Right now there's an exhibit going on at this museum, at the Calvert Maritime Museum in Maryland. And I have a link to the museum, so in the description box in the pinned post. But they have an exhibit called The Women of Wallville. And that is a town in that area. And what they want to do was showcase and tell the stories of the 19th and 20th century women who lived in Wallville, and the type of lives they had, the things that they did, and what they are using in the exhibit is one of my quilts to show a quilt. I mean, it's obviously not, I don't live there, but it shows what a quilt is for those visiting the Maritime Museum. So I thought that was so great that they had a way to share quilt making by having a visual in the museum to go along with the exhibit. I will have the scavenger hunt for this month after I show you some fabric. I had some fabric that came in, and the first one was the So Colorful bundles. Now I've had this for a little while, but somehow it got shoved on the side, and it's green. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking this can be for the 100 blocks. There probably are some fabrics in here for that. You want to see some fabric? I didn't even look at it yet. I saved it to look at it with you. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, one of the nice things about the So Colorful bundles is they do give you this like guide. So it tells you what all the fabrics are in there. So if there's a piece in here that you get and you're like, okay, I would like to do a border, or I need actually more than a fat quarter of that so that I can do a project, or backing, you can use the number on here and go to the fat quarter shop and put that number in and find the fabric. Okay, so this is a super nice sort of blend. I call them blenders because they're very tonal. They don't have a lot of pattern on them, and they just work perfectly. So this one actually will be perfect to use with the 100 blocks because it's got the right colors. Oh, look at this. Love that design. Makes kind of a plaid design. And then here is a plaid, but it's a little bit, different, like a regular plaid, but oh, that's cool. And it's on like point, so that when you cut it, it's like this basket weave. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, look at this. So pretty. Gives that 30s feel, doesn't it? Stripes. That's a nice stripe. That's a really good stripe. It has just, it's all green, but it has different shades of green and then the different weights of lines. So that is a really good stripe. Okay, here is another kind of plaid. So fun. Lots of good, another 30s feel. And I don't know that this green was the green of the 30s, but the design and feel is really good. And a Christmassy print with wreath and sledding, a winter print, ornament. It's got some Christmas words, some winter words. Nice, 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 nice. Look how cute this one is. Little aqua, little light green. Nice. Okay, we've got some X's. This is the Laguna Sunrise that I'm using for Grandma's Kitchen. I knew that pattern because I've been cutting that pattern a lot. Look at this. How pretty is this? I don't always have a selvage on it. That with the print, I've got the other side on this particular piece. What? So that's why the guide, when so you've got the guide here. So that this piece is up here and I could just go look it up. I gotta look it up. Another holiday print. These are actually little bits of holly, some little berries in a lighter green. Often these bundles, as you've noticed, they've got different shades of green. This one has more all medium tones, but sometimes one of the bundles will go from more dark to light. It just depends on what they decide to put together. And here's another light one. Oh, there's one more, even lighter one. Oh, how pretty. This is from Heather Briggs of My So Quilty Life. I don't know what the fabric line name is, but the little tagline is where the blooms are small and sweet. Oh, how pretty is that? So pretty. Okay, let me get the other thing. Do you ever tire of looking at fabric? I don't. I quilt so that I can have fabric, like there's a reason for having it. Maybe I should just buy the fabric and I don't need to actually quilt. So I love Lizzy House's artwork, and I've shown you her pieces before. I just like her. I love her style. She used to do fabric for a while, and then she did some other things. She did artwork of other types, and then now she's done some fabric again. And so I had to get some of it because it is so delightful. And this one is called Love Letter. And I'm thinking possibly when we do the Jolly Bar quilt along, I might use this line because I just cut it in half and it's a Jolly Bar, so I can cut all the pieces out. I mean, I have plenty. I can't remember if that one takes 2 of these or not, but I'll have to get a few companion prints, just because I can have enough to go along. And look at the tiny, tiny strawberries. This is what sold me. Look at them. Look how sweet they are. Here, I'll put this up here. When I was a little girl, my granny had a sloping, off of their carport. It sloped down. And I can remember looking for those little bitty they're probably poisonous, but the little bitty strawberries that look just like this. They look like just like that. And they would be down along the hill that went down the yard. That and bees' nests. Yeah, that was the other thing I remember from there. Bees' nests. So, so what does this have? Now, because the layer cakes are always a set number of fabrics, what manufacturers do is always put in that set number of fabrics, but there are often duplicates because the fabric line doesn't have that many. So, that way designers can design for a layer cake knowing exactly how many fabrics there will be. So there are some that are duplicates in here, which is great because I get extras of them. Look at that. Nice sort of soft lavender. That would go good in Grandma's kitchen, wouldn't it? See here, look at this. She does a beautiful scale, and the bunnies. Oh, of course. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way because otherwise it looks like things are upside down. Look at the bunnies. Look at the bunnies. We had some bunnies out in the backyard recently, like they were in the shed, but there were four or five of them, and they would just hop like this because they were just babies. They were hysterical, and then all of a sudden they're all gone. So we don't know what happened there. We don't want to know, but we miss them. They were fun to watch. Look at this. I had to turn it right side up because what happened? They didn't sort these all the same direction. And then she's famous for these bracelet fabric line. She's done them in different sizes. They are really good. line. Really good one to use. The swans. I have this thing for swans. I don't know why. I really, really love swans. I need to make a little swan quilt. There are some great patterns. I think Elizabeth Hartman has one. But I've gotten different swan fabrics and put them in things. Look at that with the dark pink. So pretty. These look like, what, like, I don't know, like the bees something, that flower. I think I got one of those out in my yard. Look at the dark purple and pink. More swans and babies. Look at the babies. More bunnies on pink. And the pink bracelets. The strawberries on pink. Oh my gosh, love it, love it, love it. Okay, and then here are these again on the darker color. They're upside down. I'm not switching back and forth. So this is like a pinky red. Look at that. Super cool. And a red. And a peachy stripe. And then there it is, that same sort of peachy. Look at all these different colors. This is so fabulous. Gold, and then kind of a white on white. But it's like white on cream, so you can really see the white. Bunnies, oh, we get 2 bunnies on there. These are great for backgrounds. Many of you super love those type. Oh, look at the, I love yellow. Look at the yellow bunnies. The yellow bracelets, yes. And then these flowers, which whatever they are. I mean, it doesn't have to have a name, but you know, they are like a branch of them. Look at this. Okay, I have to turn around for you. Like hollyhocks. Can you see them? Look at that. Wouldn't this make a fantastic backing? Yes, yes, and yes. Mushrooms in there, and butterflies and bees. Now we're going into aqua. Look at all the colors for this line. And green, oh, and then turquoise, like a turquoise swans. I love her shading. Look at that. Turquoise bunnies. Oh my gosh, there's mushrooms in there too. Look on the black, how dramatic that is. Okay, and blue. Oh, blue, blue. So pretty, that blue. Blue on black. Okay, all right, I'm sold. I'm glad I have this. And black hollyhocks. Is there one more? Yes, 2 of those. Just lovely. Oh my gosh, that's so lovely. It's such a pretty line. It just speaks to my heart, every single piece. It just really does. I love her artwork. Okay, one last thing. Carrie, my friend Carrie, who helps as an ambassador at the Facebook group, she suggested for the scavenger hunt that we show 30s or 40s fabrics. Your fabrics that, not fabrics, cross that off. Let me clip that out. So now, Carrie, my friend who helps over at the Facebook group, Carrie suggested for the scavenger hunt, we do 30s, 40s quilts. Quilts from that time frame. So if you have a quilt or quilt blocks, or I'm going to throw even notions or things from the 30s or 40s. Maybe you have something from family, but that is a scavenger hunt for today. So how does the scavenger hunt work? You take a picture of your quilt blocks from the 30s, 40s, some notions, 30s, 40s, and then you share it in the Facebook group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. And remember, go to the right Facebook group, because there are 1 or 2 that people scammed and created ones, and some of you are over there like you don't have any clue. Look to be sure that you're in mine, because my picture's at the top banner, so you can't miss it. Okay. And next week I will show you, I'm going to put it on my list, maybe on Tuesday, I will show you a quilt of mine that has some blocks. I don't know what time frame they're from, but it kind of has that vibe here, and I'm going to show you that, but not today. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. And if you're doing the snowman, show some progress. We'd like to see it. I'll see you online.